sinking softly into the mattress beneath you. The weight of the day begins to exhale from your limbs slowly, gently. The room grows quiet, and within that quiet, a whisper begins to stir. It does not speak in words, but in release, in the soft space between each breath. There's something inside you, something you've carried so long you forgot it wasn't part of you. Like a coat worn in summer, like a stone tucked into your pocket, you grew used to the heaviness. You shaped your stride around it, but now, in the stillness, you begin to remember what lightness feels like. Your breath becomes slower. You do not have to do anything, only notice, only soften. Imagine you are walking a winding forest path. The trees above you bend gently in the breeze. Golden light filters through the branches. Each step feels quieter than the last. You notice a satchel slung across your back. Heavy, unexamined, familiar. You pause. You lift the satchel off your shoulders. Set it down on the mossy ground. And for the first time in years, you straighten your spine without strain. The weight is not yours anymore. This is the beginning of letting go, not of people, or places, or even memories, but of the pressure. The proving, the pretending to be okay. You begin to notice how long you've held your breath, how often you've swallowed your own voice, how long you've told yourself I'm fine, when you are not. And now you offer yourself something different, a soft permission to breathe, to be, to no longer carry what isn't yours. In your chest, there's a door. You didn't know it was closed, but you feel the hinges now, rested from disuse, and gently, with no force, you begin to open it. Inside, a room full of everything you never got to say. The disappointments you hushed, the griefs you never cried, the fears you dressed up as strength. You do not need to unpack them all. You only need to acknowledge them. They are real. They happened. You survived them, but now you do not need to carry them into your next chapter. They have done their work, and you are ready to be lighter. Feel your shoulders now. The tension there is softening. Feel your jaw unclenching. Feel your hands unfolding from invisible fists. Letting go is not a violent act. It is a yielding. Like autumn leaves falling without struggle, like snow melting in spring, like sighing into silence. And perhaps you never knew what it meant to trust the quiet, to believe that you could release and still be safe, still be held. But here you are, lying still, yet moving inward. You walk through your own mind now, past doors marked with names and memories. You don't need to open them. Only pass by, nodding gently to the past. Some chapters no longer belong in your hands, and that is okay. You pause at a small wooden bench, sit, breathe. Watch as thoughts float past you like clouds across a sleepy sky. You used to chase them. You used to grab every worry by the collar, thinking it needed fixing, solving, taming. But now, you watch, you do not chase. You let them drift, because you are not your thoughts. You are the sky they pass through. And in that sky, space opens. Room for something new. Room for something kinder. Letting go does not mean forgetting. It means freeing. It means stepping out of the armor you wore so long. It shaped your posture. You take it off now. Piece by piece, not in shame, but in relief. You do not need to explain to anyone why it was heavy, why you carried it, why you're done. You only need to feel the ground again, soft, unresisting, safe. Let the memories come, let the moments rise, and let them fall like feathers. No grasping, no judgment, just falling. You have spent years proving, pushing, perfecting. But what if you did not need to be anything but peaceful? What if joy didn't need to be earned, just allowed? You begin to imagine your body as a house, every room once cluttered, with doubt, with shits, with voices that weren't your own. You walk through it now, windows wide. Curtains lifted, letting breeze and moonlight in. You dust off the shelves. You sweep the corners. You light a candle in every room, and the house begins to glow from within. This is your space now. You are allowed to clear it. You are allowed to make it new. Even your name, the one you whisper to yourself, can be washed. Clean. No longer not enough. No longer too late. No longer broken now. Only this. I am allowed to rest. I am allowed to let go. I am allowed to receive. The universe does not demand that you carry everything. It only asks that you make space. Space is magnetic. Stillness is powerful. Relief is holy. And you, in this quiet, become the invitation. You do not rush. You do not strive. You simply exhale. And with each breath, a little more loosens, a little more leaves, a little more room is made. Even your cells begin to relax. They no longer brace for impact. They no longer tighten in and fear, you are telling them in this breath that they are safe now. You are telling your nervous system through slowness that it can unclench. The universe hears this. It responds not to urgency but to frequency. And frequency of letting go is soft, open, receptive like water. You flow. You remember now, you were never meant to hold the river in your hands. You were meant to float in it. You drift. You trust. You let the current carry what you no longer need. What you lost was not punishment. What left was making space. What remains is still enough to begin again. You do not need to rebuild. Overnight, you do not need to know the ending. You only need to rest, to be willing to be here. The sky above your heart opens wide, and from it falls a soft rain, cleansing, kind, silent. This is the weight you forgot you were carrying, and this is you finally placing it down, not because you must, but because you no longer need it. You are no longer the person who survives by holding. You are the one who thrives by releasing. And somewhere deep within, a whisper rises. If I let go, I do not fall. I rise, I float, I return. And so you do. You float gently now, into the arms of rest, into the quiet between chapters, where nothing must be done, only felt, only softened, only breathed. The breath continues, slow and sure, like waves. On a shore where something new waits to arrive, the weight has been placed down, and now you notice the emptiness, but it is not a cold, echoing emptiness. It is a sacred pause, a hush before something beautiful enters. You are lying here, still cradled by the bed beneath you, but lighter than before. There is more room in your chest, more air between your thoughts, a space that almost hums. This space is not a void. It is a welcome mat, an open door, a soft meadow in your spirit. Waiting for bloom, letting go is not just about releasing. It is also about receiving. But first, you must make room. You've done that, and now you begin to feel the magic of space. Imagine a quiet room filled with soft golden light. There is no furniture here, only warmth, only stillness, only a gentle feeling of expectancy. This is what the universe sees inside you now, a place ready, a heart available, a soul unclenched. When you were full of holding on, there was no room. No room for peace, no room for unexpected joy, no room for answers to land. But now, you are open. In this openness, miracles do not rush in, they arrive, softly, easily, on quiet feet. You do not need to chase, you do not need to beg. The universe does not require urgency, only readiness, and readiness, dear one, feels like this. It feels like trusting the in-between. It feels like no longer needing to fill every silence. It feels like resting. While life reweaves itself on your behalf, you are no longer forcing the puzzle pieces. You are letting them find you, the space inside you. It is fertile, like freshly tilled earth beneath a twilight sky. You may not yet see what will grow, but you feel its possibility. You feel the quiet excitement of not knowing, not the anxious kind, but the sacred kind. Kind that says, I am no longer blocking the blessing. I am no longer clinging to what was. I am ready for what will be now. Imagine a feather drifting down through this inner room. It carries a small note. You do not rush to read it. You simply wait peacefully as it lands, and when it does, you open it slowly. It reads, I arrive when you're not looking. I land where you've made space. I am the miracle and you are ready. You hold this note gently. You don't need to understand it fully. You only need to feel its truth. Miracles, you see, are subtle. They are not always grand explosions. Often they are the gentle shifts, the soft reconciliations, peace that makes no noise. You think back to all the moments in your life when something beautiful arrived quietly, a chance meeting, a sudden clarity, a solution born not from effort, but surrender. These were miracles, and they came not when you demanded, but when you allowed. Now, in this new space, you begin to allow again. Visualize now, you are in a small cottage by the sea. The windows are open, a breeze drifts through, and in your hands you hold nothing. Not because you lack, but because you trust. You trust that the wind will carry in what is meant. You trust that what is for you cannot miss you. This trust is not naive, it is ancient. It is the trust of the tide, of the moon, of blooming things. You are remembering now what it means to live in harmony with the unseen. This is how the law of attraction works best, not from obsession, not from strain, but from inner alignment. And alignment lives in space, it lives in breath, it lives lives in hearts that have cleared a place. A place for something new to sit tonight. You become that place. Feel into your body again. Notice the areas that still cling, not to force them open, but to love them gently. Imagine those spaces as closed windows and you, the breeze. You do not push. You do not knock. You simply sit outside with kindness until they open on their own. You become the invitation, and slowly, the windows open, not to escape, but to let the fresh arrive. You feel your abdomen rise and fall, steady now, like ocean waves. You feel your legs sinking deeper into the mattress. You feel your heart no longer racing. It too has made space. You begin to speak silently to the universe. I am not empty, I am open. I am not lacking, I am clear. I am not waiting, I am ready. These are not affirmations of force. These are lullabies of alignment. And the universe hears them, because they match its song. As you continue to breathe, you feel a shift, not loud, not immediate, but real. It feels like warmth behind your eyes. It feels like calm in your chest. It feels like something unseen approaching, and it is. You do not know its shape yet, but you know its feeling. It feels like coming home. It feels like gentle rightness. It feels like something you don't need to explain. This space you've made, it will not stay empty long. It is too magnetic, too aligned, too sacred. You rest in this knowing. You do not ask when, you do not ask how. You simply stay open, because the space that welcomes miracles does not chase them. It invites them like a quiet garden at dusk. You sit here now, glowing with welcome. No need to plant, no need to dig. The seeds are already beneath the soil. And now you water with rest, you water with peace, you water with patience. It is coming, it always was, and even now, as you begin to drift deeper, you notice something soft and new rising in the room within you. You do not name it, you only feel it, you let it grow. Miracles, after all, do not always need explanation. Sometimes they only need room. And now, as your breath grows deeper still, and your thoughts grow softer than sand, you remember this: you were never meant to hold it all. You were meant to open, to allow, to become the space where love, peace, and possibility find their way. You are that space now, still, receptive, safe. You drift further, not into doing, but into allowing. And in that stillness, something begins to shimmer just outside the threshold, not yet arrived, but approaching. Softly, softly, you are still, softly breathing. Still held in the hush of night, still wrapped in the quiet spaciousness you made by letting go. Nothing is pressing, nothing is urgent. You are not waiting anymore, you are simply here. And in this here-ness, something begins to whisper. Not loud, not commanding, but tender, like petals brushing your skin, like a memory you forgot you loved. This is the silence, not the absence of sound, but the presence of something greater than words. A living silence, a silence that holds secrets and songs and wisdom and miracles to enter the noise. You didn't know how loud your mind had been until it began to quiet, and now, like stars emerging at dusk, answers begin to show themselves, not as full sentences, not as commands, but as soft knowings. A nudge here, a warmth there, a sentence that seems to come from nowhere. You already know, and you do. You know now that clarity isn't something you chase. It is something you become still enough to hear, and you're becoming still. You lie there, the same body, the same bed, but not the same inner landscape. It's quieter in here now, deeper, richer, more open. Imagine you are walking barefoot through a moonlit field. Each step is slow, gentle. Your heartbeat feels rhythmic, soft. You are not going anywhere specific. You are simply wandering, and then you see a small pond. Still, silver, sacred. You sit beside it, not to throw stones, not to disturb, but just to be near something that reflects you. You look into its mirror, and for the first time in a long time, you see clearly, not because you figured it all out, but because you stopped trying to dot. This pond is your mind tonight. This stillness is your frequency, and in it, your inner knowing begins to rise, not from thinking, but from being. So much of your life, you've been taught to find answers by doing, by searching, by gathering. But the most important truths, they rise in silence. They float upward only when the surface is undisturbed. And now, your waters are still. You feel the wisdom that's been living beneath the surface. The kind that doesn't come from books or even from others, but from the deepest you. The one that never left. The one that's been waiting, patient, kind, She whispers now, you are safe to rest. You are safe to release control. You don't have to figure it out tonight. You already are the answer, and maybe you don't fully understand yet. That's okay. Understanding is not always immediate. Sometimes it's planted, like a seed, and only blooms later when the soil is ready, and you're becoming that soil. You've softened, you've cleared space, you've welcomed quiet, and now the seeds of insight have room to root. This is how manifestation works in its most beautiful form, not by pressure, but by peace. You do not chase the thing, you become the version of you who already has it. And that version, she listens more than she talks, she receives more than she resists. She trusts the silence, because she knows answers bloom there. You begin to realize that silence is not empty, it is full of direction, full of nudges, full of the energy that reshapes your life quietly from the inside out. You don't need to ask tonight. You don't need to write a list or chant a mantra or make a vision board. You only need to be here, to rest in this new rhythm, to let your mind become soft enough that the universe can whisper its guidance without shouting. And it is whispering now, through sensations, through breath, through the faint glow of calm behind your closed eyes. You are no longer trying to manifest. You are becoming it. You are no longer fixing. You are remembering. And the truth is, the you who knows what to do next already exists. She's inside this silence. Feel that now, that low hum beneath your ribs, that quiet knowing behind your heart. It does not explain itself. It does not beg to be heard. It only exists, patient, true, and you listen. You do not rush it. You do not force it. You let it speak in the language it loves. Stillness, slowness, space. You are not empty. You are full of blooming. You are not lost. Just quiet enough now to feel the path under your feet. And when the time comes, you'll walk it with ease, not because you decided, but because it will feel inevitable, natural, like exhaling after holding your breath. Answers are like birds. They land when the branches are still. You are still now. You are the tree, the branch, the field, the moon, the moment. And in this perfect quiet, life begins to land on you. One feather at a time, you begin to notice a feeling just under your skin, soft, gentle anticipation. Not of fear, but of readiness. You're not waiting for something anymore. You're holding space. There's a difference. One holds tight, the other opens its palms. You are open now. So open and so still and so safe. Even your cells are listening. Even your dreams are aligning. Even your breath is whispering, yes, this, more of this. And so you stay. You drift deeper into this peace, letting it wrap around you like warm mist, letting it dissolve the last layers of noise. There's nothing you need to hear right now, but this. Silence is your teacher, stillness is your practice, softness is your power. And in this soft silence, answers bloom. You may not notice them fully yet. That's okay. They will rise in your dreams. They will echo in your morning. They will show up as calm choices, clear next steps, gentle turns in the road. You do not need to wait to receive. You only need to be still enough to let them plant themselves. And so you let them. You let everything inside you soften, your forehead, your belly, your hands, your mind. You are the garden now. You do not need to bloom tonight. You only need to rest in the fertile quiet, because this quiet is where the answers live. And the answers, they love you. They are made for you. And they will find you. You do not chase them. You become the place where they bloom. And now, as sleep begins to take your hand, you drift gently through a final breath, a final whisper, final moment of space where something deeper is beginning to stir. You are still here, soft, quiet, cradled by the stillness you created in the last journey. There is nothing pulling at you now, nothing to hold onto, nothing to chase. Only this, a soft awareness of the present, the moment as it is. Whole, gentle, complete. And in this moment, you begin to notice what has always been here. Gratitude does not need grand things. It is not loud, not flashy, not earned. It is quiet noticing. A sacred inventory of what already surrounds you, what already lives within you tonight. We begin again, not with longing, but with presence. You lie still and you begin to look, not with your eyes, but with your heart. You scan gently from the crown of your head to the soles of your feet, each part of you a miracle. Not because it is perfect, but because it is present, because it woke up with you this morning, because it is here now. Breathing, listening, receiving. Your breath moves in and out. You thank it. Not with words, but with awareness. Inhale, I am here. Exhale, thank you, thank you. You begin to see the details, the pillow beneath your head, the warmth wrapped around your body, the quiet hum of life holding you. You thank it all, silently, softly, with reverence. Gratitude is not a checklist, it is a gaze. You look at your life the way the sun looks at flowers without needing anything back. And as you look, things begin to glow. You didn't notice them before, not fully, not like this. The way the light moves across your room at dusk, the way your fingers know how to soothe your own heart, the way your memory holds laughter from long ago. All of it sacred. You've been here the whole time, surrounded by blessings so familiar you forgot to name them. Now you begin to name, not aloud, not in a list, but in the soft rhythm. Appreciation, you are not counting, you are communing. Every little thing you love, you bring forward, you sit with it, you honor it. It could be the smell of your favorite tea, the memory of someone's gentle voice, the quiet comfort of knowing your body knows how to fall asleep. All of it, miracles. Gratitude rewires you, not by adding anything to your life, but by changing the way you see it. And tonight, you are seeing clearly, from the inside out. You do not need more to be grateful. You only need to notice more. And as you do, your body responds. Your heart rate slows, your nervous system softens. Your mind lets go of the loop that says not enough. You replace that loop with a new one. Look at all that already is. Gratitude isn't just spiritual, it's physical. It changes your chemistry. It lights up different parts of your brain. It releases the grip of fear and fills you with presence. The sacred inventory is not only a practice, it is a portal. It is how you shift timelines. It is how you stop needing life to be different before you feel good. You feel good now because you decide to. You let that goodness rise in your chest like warm honey. You feel it pulse in your fingertips. You let it rest behind your closed eyes, and you begin to say thank you to things that haven't happened yet. Not to manipulate, but to become ready. You thank your future peace. You thank the joy that is on its way. You thank the version of you already living in the outcome. This is how gratitude becomes a bridge between now and what's coming. You no longer see yourself as someone waiting for good things. You see yourself as someone already surrounded. You thank your own strength, the way you kept going, the way you softened instead of hardened, the way you chose beauty again and again even when the world was loud with chaos. You thank your past, even the hard parts, not because you love them, but because they brought you here. You thank the unknown, not because you can control it, but because you trust it. And slowly, you begin to feel more than thankful. You feel safe, held, connected. This is the truth that gratitude reveals. You are not separate from life. You are not missing the magic. You are inside of it. Always have been, always will be. And every time you remember, you turn the lights back on. Inhale. This is sacred. Exhale. Thank you. You thank the silence. You thank the breath. You thank the simple fact that tonight you get to rest. And that rest in itself is abundance. You let go of the idea that things need to be perfect before you feel grateful. You decide that the messy, the in-between, the quiet middle is worthy. Thanks, and as you do, you become magnetic, not to things, but to peace, and peace. Peace attracts everything else you do not chase anymore. You glow, and the universe responds, not because you're doing something right, but because you've returned to resonance. Gratitude is the frequency of yes, yes to this body, yes to this night, yes to what is, yes to what is coming. You lay still, and you feel every cell hum with soft appreciation. No pushing, no fixing, no proving. Just presence, just love. You are full, you are whole, you are deeply, truly, richly okay. And from that okayness, something beautiful begins to grow. You may not see it yet, but you feel it. It's in the still corners of your room. It's in the breath that moves gently in your chest. It's in the memory of a time you laughed so hard you cried. It's in the feeling that you are exactly where you're meant to be, even if you don't know why yet. This is the sacred inventory of now, and now is everything. You do not ask for more from a place of lack. You ask from a place of love, and love answers. Tonight you sleep with a heart that is no longer reaching, but receiving. Because what you notice with love grows, and you are noticing everything now. Through eyes softened by awe, through breath laced with gratitude, through a spirit finally at home in the present. And in this present, something begins to shimmer on the horizon, not loud, not yet real, but forming. not chase it, you thank it before it arrives. And in that thank you, the future hears you. It begins its slow, sure journey toward you, drawn not by effort, but by appreciation. You drift now, deep into a dream carried gently on the wings of what already is. You sleep not to escape, but to celebrate. The sacred inventory is complete for now, and yet there is always more waiting to be seen. The night is deeper now, and you are softer, cradled in the arms of rest, surrounded by stillness and wrapped in the afterglow of remembering what's already here. You are not empty, you are rich. You are not waiting, you are already inside the blessing. And now something begins to happen, not outside of you, but inside your field, inside your being. A quiet current begins to stir, a hum beneath the silence, a warmth behind your breath. It pulses softly as if in rhythm with your heart. This current is attraction. It responds to only one command. Thank you. You begin to understand now. Gratitude isn't just appreciation. It's a frequency, a vibration, a magnet. What you think becomes drawn to you again and again and again, because the universe is listening, not to your words, but to your energy, your field, your signal. And the clearest signal of receiving is gratitude. Gratitude says, I have. Gratitude says, more of this, please. Gratitude says, this is enough, and still there's room for more. And the universe, ever attuned, responds with generosity, because it does not need to be convinced. It needs to be invited, and thank you is the softest invitation of all. Now feel your breath again. Let it slow. Let it deepen. Inhale. I receive. Exhale. Thank you. Again. And again, until the words melt and become feeling. Not something you say, but something you are. You become the magnet. You begin to feel it in your body, the hum of yes, relaxation of enough, the openness of readiness, and what you think starts returning to you. You thank your body and it becomes more vital. You thank your peace and it lingers longer. You thank the money that flows to you and it flows freer. You thank the love that surrounds you and it grows, because thank you is not passive. It is powerful. It is the moment where your soul and the universe shake hands, and that handshake, that silent, sacred agreement says, you trusted me before the proof. Now I will show you why you were right too. You see now, you were never meant to beg, never meant to chase, never meant to earn worthiness through strain or perfection. You were only meant to align, to match the vibration of what you wish to receive. And gratitude, it's the clearest match. You feel it now, not just in your chest, but in your field. A ripple-like light expanding outward from your very center. The more you think, the wider it moves. The more you think, the stronger the pull. Gratitude becomes gravity, drawing to you all that resonates with love. And the more it comes, the more you think. And the more you think, the more it comes. This is the loop you want. This is the spiral you choose. Upward, outward, homeward. You remember now every time you said thank you to something small, something soft, something overlooked. You were expanding. You were shaping the world around you with energy, so subtle, so radiant that even time began to respond. You were not doing it for reward. You were doing it for truth, because thank you is the soul's natural language. Because gratitude is what you speak when you are finally in harmony with life as it is. And once you are in harmony, life sings back. It sings through signs, through synchronicities, through sweet surprises you could not have planned. It sings through quiet ease, through peaceful mornings, through people who feel like alignment, through doors that open with no pushing. All because you whispered two words, thank you, and meant it. Feel into that now. Sink into it. Let it wash over you. Gratitude is not about pretending everything is perfect. It's about loving the light that finds its way in even through the cracks. You thank the moments that hurt, not because you wanted them, but because they grew you. You thank the seasons of waiting, not because they were easy, but because they cleared the way. You thank even the empty hands, because they are open. And open hands are ready hands. The more you think, the more magnetic you become, because you stop reaching and start radiating. You do not need to convince the universe. You only need to reflect it, to become the frequency of already having, already knowing, already receiving. That is what you do now. That is what sleep deepens. That is what gratitude wakens. So tonight you fall asleep not as someone who lacks, but as someone who glows. You rest in this magnetic field of love, of enoughness, of the sacred rhythm of appreciation, Thank you for this body. stillness that heals. Thank you for the life that is unfolding perfectly, even if I cannot yet see how. Thank you for the next miracle already on its way. You don't need to name it. You don't need to schedule it. You only need to thank it. And in that thank you, you create a bridge between the unseen and the seen. Between the dream and the dawn. Between the frequency and the form. So breathe again and feel the magnet hum. You are becoming what you asked for. And thank you is the key that unlocks the door. You don't need to knock. You are already welcome. You are already aligned. You are already enough. Let the words dissolve now. Let the feeling remain. The gratitude lives in your cells now. It vibrates through your breath. It radiates through your dreamscape. You don't need to do anything else. You only need to rest. To be the magnet, to let it come. And as you drift into the next layer of night, you feel the soft approach of something new drawn by your thankfulness. You are still. The kind of stillness that isn't just silence, but alignment, a deep cellular softness. Your body is heavy with rest, and your spirit is light with knowing. You have thanked the now. You have magnetized the next, and now you begin to become. Not someone waiting, but someone being. There is no more chasing, no more grasping, no more proving. Only this, a frequency, a hum, a resonance that says, I already hold what I once hoped for. You feel it now, don't you? Not as a wish, but as a presence. It doesn't arrive as lightning. It comes as recognition, a homecoming of something you've carried inside you all along. This is what it means to become the frequency of receiving. To no longer plead, but to embody. To no longer reach, but to rest, knowing the current flows to you because it matches you. You are not attracting from emptiness. You are receiving from fullness. The universe does not respond to your effort. It responds to your energy. And your energy tonight is ripe, open, resonant. This is how it works. You don't get what you want. You get what you are. And you are aligned. Imagine yourself as a radio tower, broadcasting softly into the night. No noise, no static. Just one pure, clear signal. I am ready. You're not asking anymore. You're declaring, and the universe, like a tuning fork, vibrates to meet your pitch. You don't need to climb higher. You only need to tune deeper. And tuning isn't work. It's surrender. It's lying still with your hand on your chest and whispering, I trust. You feel the trust now, circling your spine, warming your fingertips, resting gently behind your eyes. You've been preparing for this without even knowing it. Every thank you was a thread, and now they weave into something whole. Gratitude was never just a feeling, it was the frequency. And now you have become it. You are not practicing anymore. You are embodying. You are no longer the person wondering, will it come? You are the person who knows it's already here. You feel it in your chest, a soft fullness, a quiet joy that needs no reason, a knowing that nothing more is needed for this moment to be whole. You are no longer a seeker, you are a receiver. Not by demand, but by design. This is the design of the universe, to meet you where you vibrate, to echo what you believe, to mirror who you've become. And you have become stillness. You have become joy. You have become the answer to your own asking. Breathe. Feel how different this breath is. It is not anxious. It is not braced. It is open. Your chest does not tighten to protect. It opens to welcome. Your jaw does not clench with hope. It softens with knowing. You do not imagine anymore. You embody. This is the shift from desiring to receiving, from wanting to welcoming, from hoping to holding. You are holding it now, not in your hands, but in your field, in your being. The version of you who once prayed for it, she smiles now, because you became her answer. And the beauty is, you didn't have to chase, you only had to attune. You became quiet enough to hear the call, soft enough to let it in, grateful enough to feel it before it arrived, and wise enough to know arrival isn't a place, it's a feeling. And you feel it now. Your room may be still, your eyes may be closed, but your entire being is radiant. You are receiving in ways the conscious mind can't track, through dreams, through feelings, through vibrations that whisper, yes, this is yours now. And what's yours is drawn to you, not by effort, but by match. This is how the law of attraction dances, not in demands, but in harmonies. You've entered harmony now. With each breath, you vibrate the words, I receive, I allow, I already am. Not affirmations spoken from lack, but truth spoken from the deep soil of becoming. You do not need to do more. You do not need to learn more. You do not need to fix anything. You only need to let your frequency sing its quiet song, and it is singing. The melody is calm, the rhythm is peace, the tone is trust, and that song pulls life toward you in the form of people who feel like ease, in the form of opportunities that feel like alignment, in the form of moments that make you whisper, of course it happened. Like this. This is the soft power of frequency. It doesn't arrive like thunder. It arrives like a morning mist, suddenly there, so natural, so intimate. You barely remember life without it. This is what you are becoming. Not a better version, but a truer one that no longer begs for miracles because she knows she is one. You are not the emptiness. You are the magnet. You are not the echo. You are the source. And all you need to do now is rest in that. Let your field hum. Let your breath slow. Let the sleep deepen and let life respond. The frequency of receiving is subtle, slow, quiet, but it is the most powerful thing you have ever become. And as you drift further into night, the magnet grows stronger. You feel it pulling softly, not outward, but inward, drawing in only what belongs, only what aligns, only what loves you. Back, you rest now not in hope, but in embodiment. The shift has already happened. The becoming is already complete. The signal is already sent, and what it draws is already on its way. The night stretches on, soft and slow, and you drift deeper into the rhythm of alignment. No longer striving, no longer hoping, only being, only opening. And now we enter a new river, a river called money, a river called receiving without resistance. You have heard many things about money, that it's hard to hold, that it runs from you, that it only comes through effort, through stress, through strain. But what if none of that is true? What if money is not a test, but a friend? What if it does not avoid you, but waits for you to feel safe enough to let it stay? Tonight, you do not learn to earn, you learn to welcome. You learn to soften the space where money wants to live, because money lives where it feels safe. It flows where it's not feared. It returns where it's loved. And tonight, you become its sanctuary. You do not force. You do not fight. You open. Feel yourself lying here, heavy with calm, light with peace. Your body relaxed, your mind spacious. There is no urgency. There is no need to figure it out. You are not solving money tonight. You are soothing the part of you that never felt safe to receive it. And that part, it's been protecting you. It associated money with pressure, with being judged, with being responsible for too much, or losing it once you had it. But you are different now. You are safe now. You speak gently to that part of you, the one who braced at the sight of bills, the one who worried, even when money came, that it wouldn't stay. You say, you did your best. You kept me alive, but we don't have to live in survival anymore. We get to thrive. Feel your nervous system shift, not fast, but sure. The muscles unclench. The heart opens a little wider. The breath sinks deeper. You are no longer asking, where is it? You are whispering, it's safe to arrive now. Money hears this, because money is not cold. It is energy, and energy responds to feeling. Tonight you feel safe, not because of the number in your bank account, but because you've chosen safety as your frequency. You are the home now, the welcome mat, the fireplace. You do not need to chase abundance. You need only to remove the walls that made it hesitate to enter. And how do you remove those walls? With presence, with trust, with softness. Let your mind now imagine a gentle stream, clear, cool, endless, flowing toward you without interruption. You place your hands in it. It doesn't overwhelm. It doesn't rush. It simply flows. In you. Realize you don't need to dam it. You don't need to force it to go faster. You only need to stay open, stay soft. This is how money wants to move in your life. Not like a tidal wave, but like a stream, consistent, clean, comfortable. But the stream only flows where there is no resistance. So tonight, you drop the thoughts that block. I don't deserve this. It's hard for me. It never stays. I have to work for every penny. Those thoughts are not facts. They are echoes, old tapes. And tonight, you choose new sound. You choose money loves to support me. Money flows easily to my softness. Money feels safe in my presence. Say them in your heart, not to convince, but to remember, because this truth has always been available. You just needed stillness to feel it. And now you do. Feel the warmth in your belly. Feel the relaxation in your chest. That's money's favorite home, an unguarded heart. You are not asking money to fix you. You are inviting it to celebrate with you, to expand with you, to nourish you, and it will, because you are no longer in scarcity. Scarcity is not a number, it's a frequency. And you've changed yours. You vibrate now in safety. You radiate in softness. You glow in enoughness. And money responds not always in dramatic ways, but in nudges and ideas and calls that lead to contracts and emails that offer ease, in discounts and surprises and unexpected uses. But most of all, money responds in feeling. It wants to feel welcome. It wants to feel trusted. It wants to feel like it isn't being used, but appreciated. So tonight you speak to it. I see you. I honor you. I trust you. You are allowed to come. You are allowed to stay. You are allowed to grow. Money is listening because money is energy, and energy loves clarity. You don't need to visualize numbers tonight. You don't need to set goals. You need only to become the space where money feels safe to land. That space is soft. It is generous. It is peaceful. And so are you. You have shifted from tension to trust, from defense to openness, from survival to support. And your field is different now. It holds a tone that money recognizes. It says she's ready, not because you're perfect, but because you're peaceful. And peace is the perfect invitation now. As your breath deepens, you notice something, a flicker, a ripple, a small warmth at your fingertips. It's coming, not because you chased, but because you cleared the way. Money is no longer the stranger. It is the returning friend, the one that left not because it didn't love you, but because your home was too full of fear to let it stay. But the fear has softened, the space has opened, the door is wide, and money is approaching. You drift now, not into dreams of grasping, but into a frequency of graceful receiving. Your body relaxes deeper. Your breath becomes like water, and the river keeps flowing. You are ready. You are open. You are safe. And where there is safety, there is always flow. Sleep deepens around you now. The room is still. Your breath moves in a gentle rhythm, like waves brushing a moonlit shore. You are no longer searching outward. You are turning inward. And as you do, you begin to feel something subtle shift. Conversation with money continues, but now it speaks a different language. Not one of numbers, not one of transactions, but the language of belief, of worthiness, of inner truth. Tonight, you begin to understand that money does not respond to how hard you work, to how much you hustle, or how loud you ask. It responds to how deeply you believe in yourself. Because self-belief is the original currency, the most magnetic energy, the quietest, strongest code that reshapes your world. So now lie back. Let your body fall heavier into the mattress. Let your breath stretch longer and slower. There is nothing to do, only to feel. Begin by asking gently, not with pressure, but with soft curiosity. Do I believe I deserve more ease? Do I believe I am worthy of overflow? Do I believe I can receive just as I am? And if the answers come slowly, that's okay, because tonight is not about forcing belief. It's about building it brick by brick, breath by breath. You start by noticing what's already here. All the times you rose again, all the ways you survived the hard days, all the value you bring quietly, without applause, without even realizing it. You begin to realize you were never asking money to prove something. You were asking it to reflect back a truth you hadn't fully claimed yet. That truth, I am enough. And now you begin to claim it. Feel your heart. It beats not to be seen, not to be praised, but because you are worthy of being alive. That worthiness is not negotiable. It is your birthright. It is not tied to productivity or popularity or perfection. It simply is. And when you believe in that worthiness, not just in your head, but in your bones, money hears it and it mirrors it, because money is a reflection. It reflects how safe you feel to receive, and how safe you feel to receive is shaped by how much you trust your own value. So tonight, we begin the gentle turning inward, not to judge, not to fix, but to love, to affirm, to remember. Close your eyes a little more, sink into the silence, and let this truth find you. I am valuable, without effort, without proof, without conditions. Feel it ripple through your chest, not as an idea, but as a knowing, a remembering, a gentle returning. You no longer see yourself as someone trying to prove your worth. You see yourself as someone who simply is. And in that being, money begins to respond. Because confidence is not loud, it is not flashy. True confidence is quiet certainty, a calm, steady presence that says, I am ready to be seen. I am ready to receive. I am ready to hold, not because you've earned it, but because you've become it. The most powerful magnet for money is not desperation, it is self-trust. It is the subtle shift from, please give me enough, to I am enough. And money matches my energy. That shift is happening now. Feel it in your posture. Your jaw unclenches, your hands open, your chest expands. You are safe to believe in yourself. And that belief is what changes the way money enters your life. Not through force, but through flow. Not through convincing, but through calibration. You are calibrating now. Let your mind imagine a tuning fork. You strike it softly and it sings. That vibration reaches money, and money, like a dance partner, follows your lead, but only when you are sure of your own rhythm, your own worth, your own pace. You do not speed up, you do not chase, you only align. This is the new energy, the new truth, the new current. I trust myself, and because I trust myself, I trust that money will meet me where I am. Say it again, silently. Let it echo through your breath, through your bloodstream, through the quiet spaces between each heartbeat. Money does not just land where it is needed. It lands where it is believed in, and you are starting to believe. You see now that you do not need to perform for wealth. You only need to believe you are a worthy steward of it. You are. Your wisdom is valuable. Your calm is valuable. Your presence is valuable. Your peace is valuable. Money doesn't just come to those who work hard. It comes to those who align deeply. And alignment requires belief. Belief is the bridge between the unseen and the physical. And you are standing on that bridge now, not waiting, not asking, but becoming. Becoming the version of you who knows her value so deeply that life begins to match it. Not because she demanded it, but because she became it. You feel that becoming now. As you drift deeper, as your body grows heavier with peace, as your energy grows lighter with truth, you are no longer resisting. You are no longer doubting. You are remembering. And that memory is enough to shift your whole reality. You are no longer trying to receive from a place of lack. You are now receiving from a place of identity. You are a match. You are home. You are a channel. Money no longer feels foreign. It feels familiar because you have changed the way you see yourself. You no longer ask if you're enough. You simply are. And the universe rushes in to meet that certainty. You may not see the changes yet, but you will feel them in the way new opportunities feel softer, in the way your ideas flow easier, in the way small blessings begin to compound. Not because you deserve them, but because you believe in your capacity to hold them. This is the new foundation. This is the new frequency. Self-belief becomes the currency, and money responds. Again and again and again. Tonight you sleep as someone who knows her worth, not in theory, but in presence. You have stepped into a new relationship with yourself and with the energy of wealth. You rest now as the receiver, the match, the magnet, and in the soft hum of your breath, a quiet echo forms. I do not chase, I calibrate, and life meets me in the exact vibration of my belief. You let that vibration sing you to sleep. You let it become your lullaby. You let it rewire your dreams. And deep in that dream, a new current begins to flow. You have arrived, not at a destination, but at a vibration, a soft, warm hum beneath your breath, telling your whole being you are ready, not because you've done more, not because you've earned more, but because you've let go. You are not grasping anymore. You are receiving, and receiving is not a reaching. It is a resting. It is a permission slip written in trust. Tonight, you are giving yourself permission to relax into enoughness, to become a magnet, not a machine, to release the grip and let life land in your open hands. Feel those hands now, unclenched, uncurled, resting softly on your chest or by your side. There's nothing to hold tonight, only to allow. This is the moment you stop chasing money as if it is faster than you, as if it is avoiding you, as if it lives in the hands of others. It doesn't. It lives in the current, and you are in that current now, but the current cannot flow where there is tension. It flows in openness, in ease, in space. And so, tonight, you practice the most powerful energy of all, non-grasping, a deep trust that says what is meant for me does not need to be wrestled from the universe. It will find me because I am aligned with it. I do not pull. I invite. Breathe into that. Let it soften your shoulders. Let it smooth your brow. Let it loosen the invisible grip you've carried for so long. You are safe now. There is no scarcity here. Only space, only flow, only presence. Imagine yourself standing in a wide, open field. You are barefoot. The sun is low. The wind is quiet, and above you, a gentle rain begins to fall. But instead of water, it's golden light. It's energy. It's energy. It's money in its purest, kindest form. Not bills, not coins, not numbers on a screen, but support, ease, freedom, choice. You don't run to catch it. You don't grab. You simply stand still and let it fall on you. You let it soak into your skin, into your breath, into your field. Not as something foreign, but as something natural. This is the essence of receiving. It's not a sprint, it's a surrender, not a hunger, a harmony you do not grasp. Because you already trust, you do not hold tightly, because you know what is real cannot be lost. You have moved beyond the energy of scarcity. Scarcity says, if I don't act fast, I'll miss it. Scarcity says, it might run out. Scarcity says, I need to be on alert. But you rest in sufficiency, and sufficiency whispers, there's more than enough. It's not too late. I am already inside the flow. You feel that flow now. Not just around you, but through you. It flows from the center, per chest, and radiates outward. Soft, gentle waves moving in rhythm with your breath. You are not the seeker anymore. You are the source, and the more you rest, the more life responds. Because the most magnetic energy is peaceful certainty. The knowing that what you desire is already on its way, not because you demanded it, but because you prepared your field. You have prepared your field. With self-belief, with gratitude, with soft trust, and now you hold your arms out, not in desperation, but in calm receiving. Receiving without grasping means you let go of timelines, of needing it to come in a certain way. You stop micromanaging the miracle. You begin to live in surrender, not as defeat, but as power. Surrender says, I've done my part, now I let life do hers. Surrender says, I'm open to being surprised. Surrender says, I trust the route I can't yet see. And life loves this energy because it means you're not just asking for the thing, you're ready to hold it without fear of losing it. You are no longer the one chasing, you are the one being met. And how beautiful is that, to be met, to be supported, to be matched by the universe, not because you pushed, but because you became. Breathe again. With each breath, let go of one layer of control. Let go of the picture of how it should come. Let go of the voice that says you have to figure it out alone. Let go of the need to squeeze, to strategize, to overthink. Let go. And in that letting go, you create space. And in that space, money lands. Not because you earned it, but because you invited it in the most loving way. By releasing the grip, feel into that energy now, receiving. Without grasping. Like the sun on your skin, you don't chase it. You stand still and let it warm you. Like the ocean tide, you don't control it. You float and let it carry you in. Like the breath, you don't force it. You trust it will come. Again and again. Money is like this too. You do not need to chase it like prey. You let it arrive like breath, and it will, because the softest truths are the strongest. And the truth tonight is this: you are allowed to receive. You are allowed to rest. You are allowed to be supported. Not someday, not when you've done enough. Not when you've proven your value. Now, you are already enough. And life has already heard your ask. So you drift now into a new form of wealth. The wealth of calm. The wealth of trust. The wealth of knowing that everything you desire is drawn to your softness. Not your stress. Not your speed. Not your struggle. But your softness. You sleep now as someone who is no longer trying to grasp. You sleep as someone who is finally ready to receive. And in the silence that follows, a whisper moves through your field. You've already become the version of you who knows how to receive with ease. Now let life meet you in that ease. You exhale one final time tonight, not to let go of the desire, but to let go of the effort. And in that final breath, current flows faster, the light moves closer, and the miracle begins to arrive quietly, softly. Exactly on time. Tonight, a new current flows beneath your breath. It is not hurried. It is not seeking. It is soft, like a thread of moonlight, trailing across water, like the hush before a first kiss, like the way your own name sounds when spoken kindly inside your heart. This is the journey into love. Romantic stories, not ideals built on others, but the truest kind, the love that begins with you. And so now, you lie still, wrapped in covers, but more deeply wrapped in the presence of your own becoming. There's no one you must be tonight. There is no performance to keep up, no mask to adjust. Only this, a quiet return to your original softness. The world may have taught you to chase love, to prove yourself worthy of it, to wait until someone else sees you before you allow yourself to bloom. But that is not your truth. Not anymore, not here, tonight. You remember you were lovable long before anyone ever told you. You were worthy before you were chosen. You were whole before you were held. And now you hold yourself. Imagine this with your heart, a room, dimly lit with golden lamps, quiet, safe, no one else inside, just you. And in the center of that room, a mirror. Not the kind that critiques, but the kind that remembers. You step toward it, you see yourself. Not the body you try to fix, not the face you edit in photos, but the you beneath all that. The one who breathes when no one is watching. The one who laughs in empty rooms. The one who longs softly, openly. And as you stand before this mirror, you whisper, "I'm sorry I forgot you. You are always beautiful. You are enough. Tears may come, let them dot, not because you are broken, but because something old is leaving and something ancient is returning. The old story said, when someone loves me, I'll feel whole. The new story says, because I feel whole, love flows to me." You breathe deeper. Your body begins to shift. A subtle warmth radiates from your heart center, not because someone gave it to you, but because you gave it to yourself. This is where love begins, not with another person, but with the way you treat your own soul when no one else is looking. And tonight you treat it gently. You stroke your heart with thoughts like, "I deserve tenderness. I am already home. My love is not a performance, it's a presence." You do not rush this remembering. You let it rise slowly like the sun warming a winter field. Love does not land where there is lack. It lands where there is recognition. And you are recognizing yourself now. You are seeing that you were never too much, never not enough, never the problem. You were just waiting for your own gaze, your own arms, your own voice to say, "You are safe with me. I will not abandon you. You don't have to become anyone else to be loved." And in that moment, a ripple moves through your body. You've just become what you've always been searching for. The partner, the protector, the witness. You no longer see yourself through the eyes of the ones who misunderstood you. You no longer filter your worth through the ones who couldn't stay. You let them go now. Not in bitterness, but in grace, because they no longer define what love feels like. You do. And the love you offer yourself is calm, is steady, is unconditional. You do not say, "I will love you," when you say, "I love you now," even in your mess, even in your quiet, even in your fear. Especially then, that kind of love, it reshapes your field. It clears the static. It becomes a beacon, because real love, rides where it is not needed, but matched. In you, you are becoming the match. You do not long for love from a place of emptiness. You attract love from a place of fullness. This is why self-worth matters, because the universe responds not to what you wish, but to what you believe you deserve. And tonight you believe in your own deserving, not as an idea, as a frequency. Let it move through your breath now. Let it fill your bones. Let it echo in your heart. This is the love that does not disappear. This is the love that holds you when no one else does. This is the love that welcomes more love in. You have created a new point of attraction, not from hope, but from embodiment. And that point pulls love to you not because you crave it, but because you become it. You sleep now as someone who knows my relationship with myself sets the tone for every relationship I will ever have. And yours. It is soft. It is sacred. It is enough. And as you drift into dreams, you feel it. Love rising from the inside out. Not loud, but luminous. Not searching, but certain. Not temporary, but timeless. The mirror inside you smiles, because it no longer waits for someone to say you are lovable. It already knows. And now, so do you. The night cradles you, still, soft, full of your own quiet presence. You are not searching anymore. You are remembering. In the space where desperation once sat, now lives a gentle knowing. A hum beneath your ribs that says, "Love is not outside me, it lives here first." As you breathe deeper into this truth, you begin the sacred work of becoming what you long for. Not to impress, not to perform, but to align, to resonate, to magnetize. Because the truth is simple. You do not attract what you want, you attract what you are. So tonight, you stop waiting to be chosen. You stop hoping to be noticed. You stop molding yourself into the shape of someone else's affection. And instead, you become the version of you who already feels loved, already feels held, already feels seen. Close your eyes a little more. Sink into the stillness and imagine Her, this version of you who is loved so deeply, so consistently, so fully, that she no longer reaches. She rests, she radiates, she walks slowly through her life, not looking for love, but living in it. What does she feel like? What does her energy say before she even speaks? What does she believe about herself when no one is watching? Now, become. Her not someday, now, here, through the breath, through the body, through the frequency. You don't need to fake it, you only need to feel it, even for a moment, even as an experiment. Even in the gentle pretend that slowly becomes real, you say to yourself, I am the love I seek. I am the presence I crave. I am the energy I want to come home to. Let those words ripple outward. Let them echo beyond the walls of your mind. Let them shift the atmosphere around you, because becoming what you long for doesn't mean settling. It means rising. It means choosing to embody the very qualities you thought were missing. If you long for tenderness, become tender. With your thoughts, with your body, with your past. If you long for safety, become safe. In how you hold your feelings, in how you speak to yourself, in how you allow your own truth. If you long for devotion, become devoted to your healing, to your joy, to your peace. Because the more you embody love, the more love recognizes you and finds you, not in chaos, but in resonance. This is how the law of attraction moves in matters of the heart. It does not respond to longing. It responds to alignment, and alignment begins with becoming. Tonight, you do not just speak love, you feel it in your chest. You wear it like warmth on your skin. You let it rise in your voice. Even when you say nothing at all, you become the version of you who doesn't need to ask for love. Because she is love, you become the partner you've imagined. Not to fill a void, but to become the match. Not because you're pretending someone else is here, but because you're no longer absent from yourself. You return, fully, gently, and you ask, if someone loved me with devotion, how would I stand? How would I breathe? How would I dress or eat or move through the world? How would I speak to myself in the mirror? Now, do that, even if it's just in energy, even if it's just in thought. Because every time you embody that version, you move closer to the life that already contains the love you seek. You are not fabricating. You are remembering, because your soul already knows how to love. It's been doing it since the beginning, but now it gets to include you. You become the mirror, the magnet, the source in love. It listens, it listens for energy that says, I'm not searching, I'm anchoring. I'm not asking to be completed. I already am. I'm not begging for love. I am love. That energy is irresistible, and not just to people, to life, to opportunities, to friendships, to alignment, because everything begins where you begin. So feel your breath now. It is steady, not because nothing hurts, but because you are safe within yourself. You are the soft place, the deep well, the quiet strength. You become the person your younger self would have felt safe around. The one she dreamed of. And in doing so, you attract love that feels like recognition, not rescue. You're not calling in someone to fix you. You are calling in someone who meets the frequency you've already chosen to live in. And that love, it will feel like coming home, because you've already built the home within yourself. Tonight, your body learns what it feels like to receive love without proving anything. You breathe slowly, inhaling devotion, exhaling, grasping. You soften, not for someone else, but for your own healing. And in that softness, a space opens, a space where new love can live, not because you begged for it, but because you became it. This chapter is not about a partner walking through your door. It's about you walking back into your own heart and finding that everything you thought you needed was already here. The presence, the peace, the protection, the praise. It all begins with you. And tonight, you let that be enough. You rest in your own love. You become the energy of the life you want. You live it now in silence, in stillness, in breath. And that life, it begins to match you. Not because you pushed, but because you glowed. Not because you shouted, not because you aligned. And in this stillness, in this soft becoming, a light forms in the distance. A love is approaching, drawn not by need, but by mirror. In you, you are ready. The night is deep now. You are wrapped not just in blankets, but in peace. Peace you have created, not by fixing, but by remembering. Not by waiting, but by becoming. This chapter is not about a chase, it's about a meeting. Not a pursuit, but a presence. And so, we begin. Feel the stillness. Let it settle into your limbs. Let your breath be slow and your thoughts like distant stars there but far, nothing to hold, nothing to figure out. Only this, the knowing that love arrives without struggle. Yes, let that settle in. Love is not something you earn. It's something that recognizes you. It sees your frequency. It feels your presence. It knows the difference between desperation and embodiment. And now you are embodied. You are no longer hoping someone sees your worth. You are showing it to yourself, every soft word, every conscious breath. Every time you choose rest over performance, you are saying, I am ready for a love that does not require suffering. And the universe hears that. The vibration of ease, the sound of permission. Tonight, you let go of the old story. The one that said love must be difficult to be deep. That you must chase, fix, overgive, prove. You are done. You are done seeking love from places that cannot hold you. Done falling for echoes instead of presence. You're then confusing drama with passion, confusing anxiety with butterflies, confusing effort with value. You now know the truest love arrives like breath, unforced, present, sacred. And as you lie here, calm and open, you begin to feel that arrival, not from outside, but from within. You become the safe harbor that love seeks. Not because you dimmed yourself, but because you became yourself. So let yourself remember, the partner you dream of is not beyond reach. They are on their way to meet the version of you who no longer waits at the door, but dances in her own home. Love enters when you no longer beg for it, when you no longer mold yourself into who you think they want, when you no longer abandon yourself to be accepted. You rest now in full acceptance of your own energy, and that is the invitation. Imagine it now, a gentle knock on your heart. No urgency, no rush. Just a presence that matches yours. This is the arrival. Love does not explode onto the scene. It lands quietly, like snowfall, like the moonlight sliding across your pillow, and when it comes, you recognize it, because it sounds like your own voice when you're being kind to yourself. It moves like your breath when you're safe. It sees you because you have learned to be visible to your own eyes. You do not fear it because you are no longer afraid of being truly known. You have touched your own shadow. You have sung lullabies to your wounds. You have lit candles in the darkest rooms of your spirit. So when love comes, you are not surprised. You are ready. You are no longer asking, do they like me? You are asking, does this feel like home? Because you are home now. You are no longer building temples in others. You are lighting incense in your own soul. You are no longer pouring from an empty cup. Your cup is overflowing, and love drinks from the saucer. And what a beautiful thing to be so full, so whole, that love is not your rescuer, but your reflection. You are now attracting a love that is easy, not because there is no growth, but because there is no resistance. You do not need to teach them how to love you, because they speak the same language, the language of presence, of peace, of play, of partnership. You do not lose yourself to find them. You find each other because you each remain whole. This love, it doesn't ask you to shrink. It grows with you. It delights in your joy. It calms your nervous system. It sings your name without expectation, and you receive it. Without fear, without doubt, without asking when it will disappear. Because you no longer believe that you have to suffer to be loved. You have rewritten the script. You have chosen softness over survival, self-trust over people-pleasing, peace over proving. And in doing so, you became the person who love cannot help but find. So rest now. You are not waiting anymore. You are welcoming. You are not grasping. You are glowing. You do not beg. You beam. And in that beam, love arrives, not because you went looking for it, but because you finally made space to receive what's always been circling you, a partner, a presence. The love that feels like quiet mornings and deep exhalations, that feels like home within home. So drift now. You've done the inner work. You've set the table. You've opened the window. Now let love walk in, not loudly, not grandly, but with reverence. It will sit beside you in your quiet joy. It will echo the frequency you've become. It will match what you already are. Love without struggle. You breathe it in now. You let it settle in your bones. You let it rock you to sleep. And far off, just beyond the veil of night, a heart begins to stir. A step begins to move toward you, not because they are searching, but because they are ready, just like you. The night is wide, the stars are quiet, and you are floating now, not rising, not falling, just drifting, weightless, held. This is the journey of surrender, and it begins not with letting go completely, but with loosening your grip. So let's begin there. In your hands, feel them resting still, open, unclenched. There is nothing to hold tonight, no outcome to control, no plan to force, only this breath, and the one after it, and the one after that. Let them arrive on their own, unmanaged, unworried, perfect. This is surrender, not as defeat, but as devotion to the unfolding. You have spent much of your life holding tight to dreams, to people, to identities that kept you safe, to plans that made you feel like you were in charge, and that's okay. Holding on helped you survive. It gave you a map when everything felt uncertain. It gave you structure when the world felt too fluid. But now you are safe, and you no longer need to grip the steering wheel of life so tightly. Not because you don't care, but because you finally trust the road beneath you. Tonight we loosen. We release the idea that things must happen a certain way, that timelines must unfold according to our will, that we must struggle to shape the path ahead. We remember the river flows best when the rocks stop resisting it. You are the river, and you are the rocks, and you are the space between. And now you are softening. Imagine this. You are standing at the edge of a great lake, still, quiet, endless. You hold in your hand a stone marked outcome, a goal, a timeline, a version of the future you've been gripping tightly. And now you do not throw it away. You do not abandon it. You simply place it in the water. Let it sink, not disappear, but settle. You watch it drift slowly beneath the surface. You whisper, I trust what's meant for me will never need to be forced. And the lake, ever so still, whispers back, exactly. You don't need to abandon your vision. You only need to stop strangling it. You don't need to cancel your dreams. You only need to free them from the cage of how. That's what surrender is. It's saying, I still want what I want, but I'm no longer trying to control the delivery. It's saying, I release this outcome so something even better can arrive in its place, and often it does, but only when we let go of trying to manage the mystery. Tonight, you fall in love with the mystery. You let go of the question, how will it happen? And you lean into the new one. What will I become while I wait? That is where power lives, because the version of you who is open, soft, willing, trusting. She is magnetic, not because she knows everything, but because she's at peace not knowing. She is not frozen. She flows. She does not fight the current. She lets it carry her. And you are becoming her now. Not with effort, but with softness. Feel your body again. Let each part of you loosen. Your jaw, your neck, your belly, your shoulders. Let go. You don't have to hold it all. You never did. Let go of needing to understand. Let go of needing to explain. Let go of needing the proof before you allow the peace. You are enough. Even without clarity, you are enough. Even in the pause, you are allowed to not know. You are allowed to trust what hasn't yet revealed itself. This is not giving up. This is giving over. Giving over your fear to something bigger. Giving over your plans to a rhythm you were born from. Giving over your grip so your hands are free to receive. Surrender isn't passive. It's deeply powerful. It's the moment when you say, I've done my part. Now I step back. Now I watch the universe do hers. And the universe, she always responds, not in your timing, but in your favor. Not in your design, but in your becoming. You feel it now. The slow unclenching. The heart that softens. The mind that no longer loops. The breath that floats in and out like a prayer. You are surrendering now, and it feels like rest. You are no longer striving to mold the unknown. You are sitting beside it and saying, teach me, surprise me, guide me. And that surrender, that vibration, is more magnetic than any strategy you could ever force. Because it says, I am in partnership with the unfolding. I am aligned with the divine. I trust that what is mine will find me, and I do not need to suffer to receive it. So now you drift, not away from your dreams, but deeper into the version of you who doesn't need to chase them. You lie here, weightless with trust. You do not control the wind, but you learn how to sail. And you're sailing now, softly, silently, surely. The current knows where you're going. Even if you done single quotes T. And sometimes that's the safest feeling of all. You rest, you release. You allow. And in that allowance, something begins to arrive, not because you held on tighter, but because you finally let go. You are deeper now, not just in rest, but in trust. In a place below thought, beneath expectation, beyond certainty. Is here in the soft cradle of the unknown that something begins to shimmer. Not because you understand, but because you finally stop needing to. This is the space where the mind relaxes and the soul begins to lead. Tonight, you enter the most sacred room of all, the space of not knowing. And in that space, you begin to feel just how magical it truly is. Let go now. Let the questions be quiet. Let the answers wait. Let your breath do all the work. Inhale, soft curiosity. Exhale, the pressure to figure it all out. You do not need a 5-year plan in your pocket. You do not need a map. You do not need to know what's next. All you need is this moment, this breath, this stillness. The unknown is not emptiness. It is full. It is rich. It is humming with possibility. When you were small, the unknown felt like magic. You didn't need to predict the path. You only needed to wonder, to wander, to look up at the stars and know something beautiful is always happening behind the scenes. And now you remember that feeling. You return to wonder. You return to that wide open space inside you that no longer fears mystery, but welcomes it. Because mystery means movement. It means expansion. It means something new is forming that your mind cannot yet name. And that's okay. That's more than okay. That is alignment. You are not here to know it all. You are here to feel your way forward, to let life rise to meet your readiness, not your plans. So feel it now. How good it feels to set down the burden of always knowing. You don't need the entire picture. You only need to see the next step, and even that can be lit only by trust. The truth is some of your greatest blessings arrived when you least expected them, and they wouldn't have fit into the plan you once clung to. That's the magic of not knowing. It's the doorway through which miracles enter unnoticed. It's the quiet space where answers arrive not because you demanded them, but because you became open enough to hear them. So now you become open, not to everything, but to what is meant, to what is true, to what already has your name on it. You're no longer asking life to send what you scripted. You are saying, I am ready for what is real, even if I don't know what it looks like yet. You allow your prayers to be shaped by the universe. You allow your desires to be upgraded by grace, and in that permission you are free. Free from the pressure to perform, free from the mental loop of what's next. Free from the old story that you're falling behind. There is no behind. There is only becoming, and becoming is often messy, unclear, undefined. But becoming is also sacred, soft, beautiful in its blurriness. Tonight, you let yourself become without knowing what you're becoming. You trust the seed before the sprout. You trust the cocoon before the wings. You trust the silence before the music begins. This is the in-between, and it is holy. You lie in this stillness now like fertile soil. You do not dig it up to check the roots. You rest. You water with patience. You light it with breath, and you know something is growing. You can't name it yet. You can't picture it, but your spirit feels the tug, the shimmer, the soft pull forward. Not knowing is not a problem. It is a path. Bridge between the identity you outgrew and the version of you still forming. So you allow that version space to emerge slowly, to clarify with time, to unfold like dawn. You're not confused. You are expanding. You are not lost. You are recalibrating. You are not stuck. You are learning to walk in a direction you haven't yet defined. And that is okay. That is more than okay. That is magic. Because when you don't know what's coming, you are open to what's better than what you imagine. The magic of not knowing is that anything is possible. Path is not blocked. It's just being built beneath your feet with every choice, every breath, every moment you choose to trust that. So rest here in the blank space, the liminal, the undefined. This is the womb. Your next season. And in this womb, you are safe. You are loved. You are held. You don't need to rush clarity. It will come when your nervous system is quiet enough to receive it, and you are becoming quiet. You are not panicked. You are present. You do not demand the plan. You allow the unfolding, and the unfolding loves your softness. Breathe again. Inhale. I do not need to know. Exhale. I am still guided. Inhale. I surrender the picture. Exhale. I trust the painter. Inhale. I'm okay right here. Exhale. I am becoming who I'm meant to be. You drift now. Not towards certainty, but towards serenity, because peace does not come from having the answer. It comes from knowing you're supported, even in the silence. Silence, even in the pause, even in the places where the light hasn't reached yet. You are not in darkness. You are in preparation, and what's coming is finding its way to you, not because you demanded it, but because you opened, you let go of control, and you made room for the miraculous. And now, just before sleep takes you deeper, you feel at a flicker of clarity, a soft vision forming in the mist. Not enough to name, but enough to trust. Something beautiful is beginning. You are floating now, suspended, held between one breath and the next. You are not searching, you are not asking. You are simply here, open, soft, aligned. And this is the space where miracles happen, not in the noise, not in the striving, but in the stillness you once tried to avoid and now call home. Tonight, you enter the final secret of surrender. Miracles do not require force, they require space. And surrender creates that space. Let your body soften into that truth now. Your shoulders melt downward, your fingers loosen, your jaw unclenches. Your heart opens a little more. You don't need to beg the universe. You only need to welcome it. Because surrender is not the end of action, it is the beginning of alignment. It says, I trust that what I've asked for is already moving toward me. Do not chase miracles. I create a field where they feel safe to land. And that field, you're lying in it now. It is soft. It is expansive. It is free of urgency, free of need, free of pressure. It says to the universe, I trust you even when I can't see you moving. I trust you even when I don't yet have the proof. And in that trust, the current begins to accelerate, not because you pushed, but because you stopped resisting. Miracles respond to the one who has cleared a space, to the one who has said, I do not need to know the path, only that it will appear beneath my feet. This is surrender, not as a concept, but as an energy. And you are in that energy now. You've let go of needing the perfect plan. You've let go of timelines. You've let go of comparison. And in that letting go, you've become magnetic. Because the fastest way to everything you want is not through force, but through becoming the version of you who already feels held before anything arrives. That version, she's here, now, breathing with you, moving through you, resting in your skin. She is not concerned. She is not braced. She is not watching the clock. She is surrendered. And because she is surrendered, she is receiving ideas, receiving clarity, receiving people and paths and moments that seem to come out of nowhere. But they are not nowhere. They are the response to everything she has made room for. And you are her. You are no longer holding the door closed with worry. You are no longer checking the mailbox every hour for a sign. You are no longer squeezing so tightly that nothing can enter. You are open, you are safe, you are trust in motion, and so now, the miracles begin to move faster, because you are no longer in the way. You've stopped trying to orchestrate what was never yours to control, and instead you've created harmony by becoming available. Surrender is not passive, it is participatory. Magic, it is the moment you say, I have planted the seed. I no longer dig it up to see if it's growing. I water it with faith. I wait in joy. I trust the roots I cannot see. And life responds. You remember now, the most miraculous things in your life came when you least expected them. Not because you gave up, but because you let go. You softened, you smiled. You released the grip, and something beautiful arrived in the space you made. It will happen again, because that's how miracles move. They find the softest opening and pour through it. Tonight, you become that opening. Your body becomes a prayer, not spoken but lived. Your breath becomes a signal. I am ready. I trust you. I surrender. You are not doing nothing. You are doing the most powerful thing of all, getting out of the way. You are no longer waiting for life to approve your worth. You are living in the certainty that you are worthy. From the very first breath, and now you align with that worthiness by not gripping, by not doubting, by not forcing. You drift deeper now into the kind of sleep where your subconscious does the work, where your dreams become blueprints, where your body integrates peace as its natural state. There's nothing to guard, nothing to chase, nothing to fix. Only this, the deep trust that everything you've asked for is already here in seed form, and that your softness is what allows it to bloom. You've done your part. You've chosen your desires. You've cleared your field. Now, you let it grow. You let love come. You let money come. You let clarity come. You let miracles come. Without tension, without desperation, without needing to understand every step. And in that peace, they arrive, not in a whirlwind, but in a whisper. Not in fireworks, but in rightness. You wake up recognition. Because the moment you surrendered was the moment they began their journey to you. You simply made space. So now, in this stillness, say softly to yourself, I am the space where miracles land. I am the soil where the unseen grows. I do not chase, I allow. What is for me cannot miss me. You fall asleep as someone who trusts the mystery, who no longer interrupts the process, who honors the in-between, because she knows the surrender was the shortcut, and what she planted has already begun to bloom. Your eyes are closed now, but in this darkness, a different kind of light awakens. A gentle glow just behind your forehead, a soft stirring in the inner screen of your mind. This is where it begins, the sacred space where imagination meets reality, where your desires become images and your images begin to create your world. You are stepping into the cinema behind your eyes. This isn't fantasy. This is not escape. This is the language of the subconscious, and it listens best when you speak in pictures. So tonight, you do not hope for what you want. You see it, not as a distant maybe, but as a vivid living now. The more you feel it, the more real it becomes. You don't need to force the vision. You only need to relax into it. Let your inner world form naturally, like mist curling in the air, like dreams gently unfolding just before sleep takes you. Let's begin. You are sitting in the most peaceful place you've ever known. It could be a beach or a cabin or a garden with golden light dripping through the trees. Feel it. Don't just see it, feel it. Let your senses join you. What do your fingertips touch? Is it warm sand, the soft fabric of a chair, the smooth bark of a tree? What does the air smell like? Is there jasmine on the breeze, salt from the ocean, the faint sweetness of blooming flowers? And now, what do you hear? The hush of waves, birdsong, the wind threading through tall grass. Let this place become vivid. Let it become a sanctuary. This is your sacred space where visions become invitations. Now, in this place, you begin to see your life. Not the life you fear, not the life you left, but the one you choose. Begin simply. See yourself rising in the morning, not groggy, not rushed, but radiant, energized, aligned. See the sunlight spill across your bed. Feel the air, crisp and loving. Notice your reflection in the mirror, your eyes bright, calm, centered. Not because everything is perfect, but because you are at peace. Now, see the version of you who is living the life you once only hoped for. The version of you who walks differently, not faster, but with intention. The version of you who speaks with kindness, but also clarity. The version of you who receives easily money, compliments, help, opportunities without guilt, without hesitation. Let that version of you come fully into view. What is she wearing? What is her energy like? How does she stand in a room? How does she breathe? Stay with her. Let her guide you. This isn't pretend. This is practice. Because the subconscious cannot tell the difference between real and vividly imagined. And where you imagine from peace, the more peace becomes your foundation. You are not visualizing to control life. You are visualizing to align with it, to become the version of you who is already living the vibration you desire. And that vibration, it begins now. Let's go deeper. See yourself in a moment of joy, a moment you once thought would never arrive, and now it's here. Maybe it's a letter in your hand, offering the job you always wanted. Maybe it's a quiet dinner with the person who loves you deeply. Maybe it's a moment of financial abundance, opening your account and smiling. Not because the number matters, but because the ease is finally real. Whatever it is, feel it. Let your nervous system believe it. Let your breath slow as if the desire has already landed. Let your heart release the old belief that you must wait forever for joy to be real. Joy is real now, because you are practicing the vibration of already having. This is where visualization becomes sacred, not because it manipulates life, but because it trains your energy to match your desires. And energy, not effort, is what shapes your path. So let yourself bathe in this vision. Let it wrap around you like warm water. You are not looking at it from far away. You are in it. It is yours. It belongs to your field. It fits you like a second skin. The more you feel it, the more natural it becomes. And what feels natural becomes easy to receive. This is not daydreaming. This is deliberate remembering of the version of you who was always possible. It's possible. And the more you dwell with her, the more she becomes familiar. And what's familiar, the subconscious makes real. So tonight, you plant seeds. In images and feelings, in sensation. You do not ask, will this happen? You say, it is happening. Now, within me and soon around me, you hold no time not count the days, you count the frequency. You sit with the energy as long as it feels good. And then you let it go. That is the final step, to release. The image like a balloon in the sky. To say, thank you, I've already felt it, and now I trust it will arrive in its own way. That release is what signals true trust. And so, you rest now. You let the vision fade like fog dissolving at sunrise, not because it wasn't real, but because it planted something that will grow on its own. Your breath slows, your body sinks. You do not need to hold the picture. It is already held by the frequency you are now vibrating in. You sleep as someone who has seen her future and called it home. You sleep as someone who no longer waits for a sign, because you already sent the signal. You sleep as someone who understands, I do not chase the dream, I become it. And now the outer world begins to arrange itself, quietly, gently, exactly on time. Vision is no longer a scene behind your eyes. It has moved. It has settled deeper. It lives now in your breath, in your heartbeat, in the way your shoulders rest without fear. You are no longer imagining your desires. You are living inside them, from within, softly, naturally. Tonight, you become the embodiment of the wish. You do not reach for it, you wear it. You walk in it, you breathe as if it were already yours, because the greatest power of visualization is not in the picture, but in the presence, not in the someday, but in the now. Let your body remember now what it feels like to already be living your dream, not watching it, not rehearsing it, but waking up in it. You begin by remembering. Every reality is a frequency, and you are a transmitter. You broadcast what you feel safe receiving. So let's begin there. With safety. You are safe to have what you want. You are safe to feel joy. You are safe to let it last. You are safe to stop preparing for disappointment. This safety is the foundation of all manifestation. Feel that safety now in your body, in your heart, in your spine. The more at ease you are, the more magnetic you become. There is no need to want harder. There is only a need to feel safer, as if it's already here. So now you bring the wish closer, not in your hands, but in your nervous system. Imagine you've woken up, and the reality you dreamed of is already yours. The message came. The contract was signed. The door opened. The person returned. The light finally turned green. Whatever. It has happened. Now, don't focus on the moment it arrived. Focus on the morning after. You rise with ease. No pressure. No racing thoughts. You look out the window, and the world looks softer somehow. Because now, you no longer seek. You savor. You pour your coffee. You stretch into your joy. You move through your day with a softness that only comes from having. This is living inside the wish. It doesn't feel urgent. It feels natural. It doesn't feel like a reward. It feels like your rhythm. You are no longer becoming her. You are her now. So you act like her. You speak like her. You love like her. Not as performance, but as practice. As remembering, because the version of you who lives that dream, she already exists. And each time you act as her, you merge with her. Your posture shifts. Your voice slows. You stop proving, you start trusting. That trust is everything. It says, I do not need evidence. I am the evidence. I do not ask for permission. I walk in alignment. I do not wait for the world to change. I shift my field and the world responds. You are shifting now, quietly, deliberately, sweetly. Your identity is no longer built on lack. It is built on peace, on grace, on calm expectation. You are not desperate. You are decided, and that decision, that soft inner certainty, sends a signal to the universe. I'm already living it. Now bring me what matches. Because the law of attraction does not respond to your words, it responds to your norms. And your new norm is the energy of fulfillment. Not loud, not flashy, just steady, like a heartbeat. Like breath, you are training your subconscious now to believe it is safe to live in your desires. And what the subconscious believes, it begins to filter. It starts to notice the doors that were always there, paths that were always possible, the timing that was already working in your favor. You are not creating miracles, you are simply becoming available to them. By living inside the wish. Now, bring it even closer. Feel the emotions of the version. View who has it. What does her joy feel like? Not manic, but settled. Not explosive, but deep. What does her love feel like? Not chasing, not clinging, just warmth, presence, reliability. What does her abundance feel like? Not spending too feel worthy, just receiving with ease. There is no tension in her, no scarcity in her, no performance. She simply is, and you are her now. Feel her favorite moments, walking barefoot in her kitchen, light pouring in, getting a message of confirmation and just smiling because, of course, meeting the day with peace, not needing to hustle for alignment, but living in it. That is the wish, not as a goal, but as a daily rhythm. And now you let your body memorize it. This is the true magic. Not asking again and again, but feeling again and again, and trusting that reality will rearrange around what you feel to be true. So now let your breath do the work. Inhale, I live in the frequency of already having. Exhale, I no longer search, I allow. Inhale, I am the result of my alignment. Exhale, I rest in my own becoming. You are not visualizing anymore, you are embodying. You are not watching a movie, you are inside the scene, you are writing it with your frequency. And the world, it is listening, not to your effort, but to your ease, not to your longing, but to your calm certainty, and so you rest. Not because it's done, but because it's yours. You sleep not as a seeker, but as a receiver. You dream not of what might be, but of what already is, and tomorrow. You will rise with that same frequency in your skin, not to prove it, but to live it. Because living inside the wish is how the wish becomes real. You're so close now, not to the thing you want, but to the version of you who no longer feels like it's far away. There's no grasping here, no effort, no strain, just soft rehearsal, quiet repetition, the gentle whisper of a life you are finally allowing to feel normal. Tonight, we practice the art of making your desires feel familiar. Because what feels familiar feels safe, and what feels safe the subconscious will always allow in. So you begin to rehearse, not like a performance, but like a body relearning its rhythm, like a heart remembering how to beat for something good. Let your body sink now, deeper into the mattress, deeper into your breath, deeper into this soft rehearsal of reality. You don't need to script it perfectly. You only need to dwell in it, to linger in the feeling of what it's like to be there, in the middle of the life you once only dreamed of. This is how you teach your nervous system that abundance is safe, love is safe, joy is safe, and being seen is safe. No alarms, no resistance, no flinching, just ease. Imagine now you are living a day in your most aligned, fulfilled, peaceful life, and you've lived it long enough that it no longer feels like a fantasy. It feels like your new normal. You wake up, not with urgency, but with a quiet smile and the softness of morning light painting the wall beside you. You don't reach for your phone, you reach for your breath, and in that breath, you feel grounded, guided, grateful. You get up, your home reflects your energy, organized, open, full of beauty that makes you sigh. Your routine is not rushed, your steps are sacred. Every motion is a soft declaration. This is my life now, and I am at peace within it. You pour tea or coffee, the cup warm in your hands, and as you sip, you feel the energy of yes settling in your bones. Not because everything is perfect, but because you've stopped resisting what you've already allowed. This is the reality you're rehearsing. It feels like home, because the home you seek is not just in a place or a person or a paycheck. It's in a feeling, and that feeling is here now. Familiarity, safety, belonging, ease. The dream no longer feels far, because you are rehearsing it until your body no longer questions whether it belongs to you. And now, the repetition begins. Not loud, not forced, just rhythmic. Breathe in the scene again. Feel yourself walking through your day with soft certainty. You open emails or messages and receive good news with a quiet nod, not shock, not disbelief. Because you were expecting life to meet you here. You speak with people who honor you, who reflect your frequency back to you, and your smile is not performance, it's presence. You move from task to task not because you have to, but because you want to. Because your time now belongs to purpose, to alignment, to what feels right in your bones. And when a challenge comes, you meet it from your center. You breathe first, you respond instead of react, because even in contrast, you are safe. Even in surprise, you remain steady. This is the version of you who doesn't just have the dream. She embodies it. And that embodiment is what draws everything closer. Not to a mask, not to a wish, but to a match. To a match. Because life always looks for resonance, and your resonance now is one of knowing, not needing. You've rehearsed this feeling so many times, it no longer feels like the future. It feels like today, like here, like you. You repeat not to convince. You repeat repeat to remember dot because the dream was never separate from you. It just needed a space to be rehearsed until it felt real dot, and now it does. Now it is. So you rest in that. You let the vision slide deeper into your body, into your chest, into your stomach, into your fingertips until your whole system believes the signal you're sending, and the signal says, I am her now. I live in this now. This is my new rhythm. This is my new rest. There is nothing to chase. There is only space to be dot, so you rest. Not to escape the dream, but to absorb it, to let it settle in your cells. To let your breath carry it deeper into the places where beliefs are born. And as you sleep, you are no longer just wanting, you are becoming. Calmly, consistently, beautifully dot. This is how manifestation happens, not in fits of excitement, but in slow, stable rehearsal until the reality becomes the most familiar thing of all. You will wake up not surprised by blessings, but aligned with them. You will walk into rooms where you once felt unworthy and now feel like you belong. You will see your desires arrive not because you finally earned them, but because you rehearsed their presence until they became normal. And what's normal? The universe provides that, so now you float into sleep with a new feeling. I no longer hope to feel this way. This is how I live now. The final scene plays behind your eyes, a smile, a home, a steady pulse of peace. And your last waking thought is this: I have practiced this dream until it feels like home. And now that it is home, it's coming to me faster than ever before. There is a room inside you, quiet, long sealed, soft. Echoes still ring against its walls, echoes of things that were said and things that were not. You don't visit this room often, but tonight, with love, with gentleness, with safety, we go there. Not to suffer, not to relive, but to release. To finally breathe inside the space you once locked away. You're not alone here, you're guided, held. Witness that there is no shame in the echoes, only residue. And where there is residue, there is something ready to be softened. Let your breath lead, inhale, and feel the memory rise, exhale, and feel the pressure ease. This chapter is not about blame, it is about freedom. Because forgiveness, real forgiveness, is not something you give to others before you give it to yourself. You begin there, with the parts of you still bracing, still hurt, still carrying the weight of what was never your fault. Tonight, you walk through the doorway into the places that ache, but you walk gently. And you walk with intention to bring light, not to make sense of the pain, but to stop letting it define you, because pain that is not released becomes identity. And tonight, you return it to the past where it belongs. Close your eyes, feel the tension in your chest, the one that lingers when you think of that face, that voice, that silence. Let it rise, let it be real. You are not weak for remembering. You are brave for feeling. Feeling is not regression, it is release. Now, see yourself at the moment of the wound, the time when your trust cracked, when your spirit dimmed, when you began to believe you had to carry it to be safe. Hold that version of you, not from above, but beside. Sit with them. Let your present self wrap your arms around your past self. You are not fixing them, you are witnessing them, and in being witnessed, they begin to heal. Say silently, I see you. I'm sorry you went through that. You didn't deserve it. And you no longer need to carry it alone. Now, see the weight beginning to lift. It doesn't rush. It doesn't explode. It unravels like thread, gently pulled from your chest. Feel your breath return to its full depth. Feel your shoulders sink an inch lower. This is forgiveness starting to move, not because the person earned it, but because you deserve peace. This forgiveness is not about letting them off the hook. It's about unhooking yourself from a memory that drains your power. You forgive to set yourself free. You repeat gently, I no longer keep pain alive to remind me of who I used to be. I allow peace to become my new memory. And now let your body show you where the pain was hiding. In the jaw you kept clenched, in the fists you kept ready, in the spine you kept braced for the next betrayal. All of it ready to soften. All of it ready to trust again. Trust not in others, but in yourself, in your ability to recover, to reorient, to reclaim joy. You do not forgive because they asked. You forgive because you're tired of carrying what is not yours. This chapter is where you return that weight to the ground, and as you lay it down, you do not lose strength. You gain it because your energy is no longer tied in knots of memory. It becomes available again for dreaming, for receiving, for joy. You make space for new light by releasing the shadows. You've outgrown that. There is no rush, no timeline, only permission to feel, to cry, to grieve, to breathe, to heal. Dot. You are not broken. You were never broken. You were burdened, and burdens can be lifted. Dot. One breath at a time, one forgiveness at a time, one tender exhale at a time. You've done enough carrying. Now you rest out in the stillness. You don't need to explain what happened. You only need to let go of needing it to make sense. Some things won't. But your healing is not dependent on their apology. It is born from your willingness to move on. So, say gently, I no longer seek justice in memory. I seek peace in the present. I choose to remember the strength I gained, not just the pain I endured. I forgive because I am worth the light that follows. And now, you wrap your arms around yourself, literally, physically. Hold yourself as you would hold a child who is finally safe. Feel your body melt into that safety. The nervous system exhale it's been craving. You are not pretending. You are not repressing. You are releasing. The echoes begin to quiet. The room begins to fill with warmth. The wound becomes a scar. The scar becomes a story. And the story no longer owns you. You breathe now, not from protection, but from permission. You are no longer braced for pain. You are ready for peace. And peace comes not because the past changes, but because you did. You are not the same. You are wiser, softer, stronger, and you did not need the pain to become that. But now that it happened, you reclaim yourself from within it. You will sleep tonight as someone who no longer clutches what they cannot change. You will sleep as someone who chose to love themselves enough to stop rehearsing the pain. This is not the end. This is the first breath of a new beginning. Breath rises slowly tonight, as if even your lungs are remembering something. The body has memory. It carries more than bones and blood. It carries the echoes of old stories, the rhythms of past alarms, the hesitations from things once said, once felt, once feared. But even now, with the weight of all that remembering, you still get to choose again. This chapter is not about forgetting. It is about reclaiming, because your body may remember where it once braced for pain, but your soul remembers who you were before the pain ever came. Tonight, we listen to the body, not to obey the old fear, but to notice, to soften, to speak a new language into the places that once held only tension. Begin with your jaw. Feel it. Where is it tight? Let it slack. Let it drop. Tell it, you no longer need to defend me in silence. Move to your shoulders. Let them fall. Soften their armor. Whisper to them, you do not have to carry every hurt anymore. Your chest, is it clenched? Is your heart curled in for safety? Place your hand over it. Feel the pulse. And speak gently. I give you permission to open again, slowly, sweetly, when you're ready. Your belly, that sacred center, is it tense? Has it learned to guard your truth? Place your other hand there. Breathe into it. Say softly, you are allowed to feel safe here. I no longer abandon you. Your body is not your enemy. It is protected. You in the only way it knew how, with tightness, with withdrawal, with fatigue. But now, you're showing it something new. You're letting it learn that love can arrive without danger, that calm can return without a price. Your body has remembered the pain, but it can also remember the peace. That memory is waiting, buried under the survival, and tonight we excavate. It does imagine now, a version of you who never learned to brace, never flinched in love, never tightened in shame. She breathes fully, she walks softly, she receives easily. Can you feel her? She's not far. She's not a fantasy. She's a memory. What's always been possible. You don't need to become her. You need only to remember her, to reconnect. Say softly, my body remembers, but I choose again. That choice begins not in thought, but in sensation. So let your body feel what it's like to be loved without fear. Visualize it. You're sitting across from someone who sees you fully. There is no judgment in their eyes, no expectations in their tone, just warmth, just presence, just understanding. Feel your posture soften, your chest open, your stomach uncoil. This is what your body craves, not adrenaline, not bracing, but this stillness, this permission. You may feel tears rise. That's okay. Tears are memory leaving the body, not weakness, not failure. Release, release. And the more you allow this release, the more space you create for something new. New rhythms, new postures, new relationships with your own nervous system. Forgiveness is not a thought. It is a felt sense of safety returning after chaos has left. You are teaching your body a new truth. I am no longer there. I am no longer in that room. I am no longer in that fight. I am no longer carrying that silence. And in the absence of old pain, something softer blooms, perhaps. It's a yawn. Perhaps it's the heaviness in your limbs that finally feels like rest, not shut down. It's just a sense that you no longer need to do anything to be worthy of feeling better. This is the miracle of the body. It forgives when you create. A safe enough space to stop racing, so you give it that space now, in this breath, in this bed, in this quiet moment. You are not trying to rush healing. You are simply creating the conditions where healing can begin, and that begins with choosing again. Not from fear, but from love, not from shame, but from sovereignty. Repeat. Gently, I am no longer the echo of my pain. I am the author of new safety. My body can trust me now. I allow ease to return, not as a guest, but as my home. You don't need to relive the whole past. You only need to feel what it's like to no longer be it. That is freedom. That is forgiveness. And slowly, gently, you begin to trust yourself as a safe place to be. You are not unsafe because of what happened. You are safe because of what you chose after. And this choice to soften, to listen, to release, this is the bravest choice of all. The body doesn't always trust words, but it does trust consistency, so you will show it. Again and again, that peace doesn't mean you're vulnerable. It means you're free. That softness isn't danger. It's truth. And the more you live from this truth, the less room there is for the pain to take up space. Not because you ignore it, but because it no longer leads. You lead now, you guide, you breathe. And in that breath, the body rests. Let yourself drift now, not away from your body, but deeper into it. As if you're tucking yourself in from the inside, let the memories become whispers. Let the hurt fade like smoke. Let your muscles unclench with every exhale. And in the stillness that remains, plant one gentle truth. My body remembers. But I am free to feel new things now. Sleep in that newness. Sleep in that freedom. You do not carry the weight tonight. You carry softness, and that softness will carry you home. There is a kind of silence tonight, not empty, but open. Not the silence of what's missing, but the stillness of what's ready. Your past has softened. Your body has uncurled, and now your future is leaning in, not to be feared, but to be received. You once flinched at the thought of joy that lasted, of love that stayed, of blessings that didn't come with a hidden cost. But now, with forgiveness flowing like a soft river through you, you become someone who can hold goodness without waiting for it to vanish. This is the freedom you've been creating. Forgiveness was never just about healing the past. It was about preparing your soul to receive the future without suspicion. And so we begin here with this breath, this space, this calm expectation. You are not holding your breath anymore. You are not waiting for the other shoe to drop. You are not rehearsing disaster just to stay prepared. You've learned that you can trust yourself even in joy. That you are no longer the person who betrays herself by expecting the worst. That version of you, she's resting now. You've thanked her for protecting you and gently asked her to step aside. Now, a new you steps forward, a receiver, an inviter, an embracer of what is next. Visualize her. The you who doesn't reject good things out of habit. The you who doesn't shrink when miracles knock. She opens the door, she lets light in. She believes that love can last, that success doesn't have to burn her out, that rest isn't dangerous, that joy doesn't mean punishment is coming. She is you now, not later, not once you're more healed. You are her because you chose to forgive, and forgiveness is the final lock before the gate opens. Now the gate is opening, and the light is warm. Breathe that in. Not a fantasy, but a possibility made real by your new alignment. Feel the new sensations. What does it feel like to wake up without bracing? To look at your future and feel no tightness in your chest? To plan things without worrying if you're jinxing them? You are safe to plan. You are safe to imagine. You are safe to hope without being punished for your softness. This is the new energy that forgiveness has made possible. Forgiveness dissolved the static. Now the signal is clear, and the universe, oh, how it loves a clear signal, it doesn't respond to your wishes alone. It responds to your readiness, and you are ready now. Ready to receive what you don't have to earn through suffering. Ready to believe that ease is just as holy as effort. Ready to rest while the miracle arrives. Repeat softly, I am no longer afraid of joy. I do not guard against blessings. I open with grace. I receive with trust. You are not manifesting from a wound anymore. You are manifesting from a healed space. And healed space is the most fertile soil. What grows here is strong, peaceful, lasting. Because it's not built on proving or desperation or performance. It's built on truth, your truth. The truth that you are already worthy of all that you desire. And so you walk into the future without flinching, without rehearsing heartbreak, without asking the universe to convince you. You are already convinced that love can be soft, that money can be clean, that purpose can be playful, that you do not need pain to justify your expansion. All of this becomes possible when forgiveness clears the static, and the static has cleared. Now you dream not to escape, but to design, to sculpt, to softly direct the stream of what's coming, not with effort, not with force, but with frequency, because your signal is now tuned to peace, and peace is the language your future understands best. Close your eyes and imagine a day 6 months from now. You're calm, grounded, aligned, not because everything is perfect, but because your nervous system no longer sabotages the good. You receive a call, an email, a knock at the door, and it's good news. Not shocking, but expected, because this is who you are now, a match for goodness. You don't question it. You don't prepare for loss. You don't freeze in doubt. You welcome it with grace, with openness, with a quiet smile that says, I knew you were coming. This is the reward of forgiveness. Not the absence of memory, but the absence of fear. You no longer brace, you breathe. You no longer block, you bless. And your life begins to look as peaceful on the outside as it has become on the inside. This is your future, and you are no longer afraid of it. So sleep now as the version of you who does not push joy away, who does not see light as a warning sign, who does not confuse stillness with danger. Sleep now as someone who receives what they once feared to feel. And in that sleep, you become magnetic, because nothing pulls in blessings like a soul at peace. You do not chase anymore. You welcome. You do not beg. You allow. And what you allow, you attract. Softly, surely, effortlessly. This is the forgiveness that leads to freedom. This is the peace that calls in miracles. This is the rest that makes room for more. More joy, more clarity, more wholeness, more love. Let it come. Let it settle. Let it stay. You are no longer afraid. You are no longer bracing. You are ready, truly ready. And as the night deepens, your final breath whispers, I forgive, I receive, and I rest, knowing everything I once feared is now flowing to me in peace. There's a quiet garden inside you. Most of the time, you walk past it without even noticing. But it is there, just beyond the noise, beneath the thoughts, below the surface of what you think you are. This garden is your subconscious. It holds every seed you've ever planted, some by choice, some by accident, some lovingly placed, and others tossed in by voices that were never truly yours. Tonight, we enter that garden, not with judgment, not to tear things down, but to gently notice what has been growing unattended, because even when we sleep, leaves whisper. Some whisper peace, others whisper fear. If we do not tend to them, those whispers become winds that shape our entire world. So breathe softly now, not to escape, but to arrive, to step into the quiet place where your life's direction begins. You do not need to force anything. Here, you only need to notice, because noticing is the first form of transformation. Let your breath take you deeper, down past the daily noise, down past the old affirmations, down past the thoughts you think just to cope. Here, you find the roots, the hidden roots, the stories you've lived. Stories like, I'm not enough, good things don't last, money is hard, love means sacrifice, if I slow down, I'll fall behind. If I shine too brightly, I'll lose people. I must be strong to be safe. You didn't plant all of these. Some were handed to you. Some were soaked in through repetition. Some were copied, not questioned. And yet they grew, because your subconscious is fertile. It accepts what is repeated, not what is true. But tonight, you become the gardener, the conscious one, the awake one. Even as you drift into sleep, you stand in the garden now, soft moonlight over everything. You kneel in the soil. Feel it in your palms. It is soft. It is ready. It is ready. You walk among the roots and you whisper gently, I see you. I honor your purpose. You were trying to keep me safe, but your time is done. And one by one, you begin to pull the old beliefs, not with anger, with love. You do not shame what you remove. You bless it and release it, because even the weeds once had good intentions. Even the pain was trying to help God, but now you choose. You choose what stays. You choose what grows. You choose what roots take hold. And into the empty space, you begin to plant new seeds softly. Whisper these new truths as if they are prayers the earth has been waiting for. I am safe to receive. I am enough without effort. My presence is powerful. My desires are divine. I trust life to support me. I shine, and those meant for me rise too. I am loved without performance. My softness is strength. I no longer hustle to be worthy. My worth was never up for debate. Feel each seed sink into the subconscious soil, gently, lovingly, like drops of light falling into still water. These are not just thoughts, they are instructions. And your subconscious listens, always, especially now as you fall into sleep. When your conscious guard lowers and the gate to transformation opens, you walk further. The garden glows softly. You see spaces that were once tangled, now cleared. You feel the air shift, lighter, warmer, like something is beginning to bloom even before the first light of morning. You do not need to force belief. You install it through repetition, through softness, through trust. So now you speak again. Not loudly, not to convince, just to remind, I am creating new roots. My life rises from my beliefs. I choose beliefs that love me back. Sleep begins to pull you inward. The garden fades from view, but its presence remains within you. The seeds you planted tonight will root deeply while you rest. You do not need to do anything more. Your willingness was enough. Your awareness was the water. Your softness was the sunlight. And now your dreams will begin to echo your truth instead of your wounds. You will wake in the days ahead feeling different without even knowing why. More peaceful, more supported, more magnetic, because the work happened here, in this garden, in this moment, in this letting go, in this letting in. Let the garden close gently behind you now. It will be here again tomorrow night, and every night after, ready to receive whatever new truth your soul is ready to plant tonight. You sleep as the gardener of your own becoming. Your final thought floats like a feather. I no longer believe what hurt me. I believe what heals me now. Sleep is not silence. Sleep is soil. And in this stillness, you become the sower of a new reality your conscious mind may dim. But your subconscious is awake, soft as a garden just after rainfall, receptive, open, listening. Last night, you entered the hidden spaces. You gently released the weeds, the inherited fears, the tired stories, the whispered not enoughs. And now, in their place, you plant something better, something beautiful, something true. Truth does not arrive like thunder. It arrives like too quiet, gentle, impossible to ignore once it touches your skin. So tonight, you plant truths not with urgency, but with rhythm. Let every breath be the planting of a new thought. Let every exhale be the burying of it in warmth. And trust that begin with the first truth. I am already enough. Repeat it softly in your mind. Let the words settle into your chest. Feel your heart slow, your shoulders loosen, your stomach rise and fall with peace. Imagine this truth as a glowing seed placed just beneath the surface of your awareness. Watch it begin to sprout in the glow of your belief. Now another. I deserve to receive what I desire simply because I exist. No justification, no checklist, just existence. Let that truth drip like golden light into the fertile garden of your mind. Feel how the soil accepts it eagerly, gratefully, as if it had always been waiting for something. This real. And again you whisper, I trust in divine timing. Nothing good is ever late. No more chasing, no more forcing. This truth unfolds like petals opening at dawn, unhurried but inevitable. Truths are not beliefs you fight to hold. They are frequencies you relax into. And so you continue planting. The universe favors my alignment, not my effort. I am safe even when I soften. My desires are instructions from my soul. What is meant for me expands me gently. Let each truth land softly. Let it repeat like waves until the sound becomes feeling. You are not learning these truths. You are remembering them. They are not new. They were simply buried. And now you've come home to them. See your subconscious garden glowing each. Truth, a beam of light rising from the dark, fertile ground. You do not need to tend to each one. They grow because you believe. They bloom because you rest. Your job now is not to manage the harvest. Your job is to become the kind of soul who expects beauty to grow here, because belief is not just thought. Belief is posture. It's the way you rise from bed, the way you speak your name, the way you accept compliments without shrinking. And that posture is planted tonight. You whisper now, I allow beauty to grow inside me. I expect miracles to meet me softly. I wake up ready for love, for ease, for magic. Feel your body lean into that, like a flower leaning toward light without asking permission. That is what you are now, not a seeker, but a bloomer. There's no strain in blooming, no grind. Only the trust that what you planted will rise in its own sacred rhythm. This is how manifestation becomes ease, not by demanding the outcome, but by nurturing the root. Root is always belief, and belief is always grown in rest that, so you surrender now, fully. Without gripping, without strategizing, you trust your sleep to do, but your striving never could. Because this is a sacred truth too, I create more through rest than resistance. The old world told you to hustle, the old mind told you to prove, but the subconscious garden, it grows best in silence, in softness, in surrender, and that is what you offer now, not effort, but trust, not urgency, but intimacy. Because manifestation is not performance, it's partnership. You plant, the universe waters, your rest becomes magnetism. Let that settle into your bones. Let this be your prayer as you drift deeper. I am a fertile space for love and light. I attract what aligns, not what exhausts. I am magnetized through stillness. My dreams are instructions to the universe. Let your breath carry these truths into every cell. Let them glow in the corners of your mind you've never seen. Let your nervous system feel it. Safety, peace, expectation without fear. You are no longer the person who fears disappointment. You are the person who trusts herself to receive without control. And the garden inside you, it blooms tonight, not all at once, but with quiet certainty that tomorrow. You may not remember all these words, but your energy will remember, your presence will shift. People will feel the ease around you without knowing where it came from. And you will know it came from here, from this night, from this sleep, from these truths that now grow roots in the dream-soaked soil of your becoming. You do not have to do anything more. You do not have to fix anything. You have already begun the great unfolding. Sleep now as someone who trusts what's blooming. Sleep now as someone who does not force her future. She waters it with faith. And your final whisper as you drift. What I plant tonight becomes my reality tomorrow. Tomorrow